Well, seasons come and seasons go, and we are back in a new season at Smith's Garden Town, right, Steve Smith?
That's right. Spring is coming, so it's time to make your spring application of pre-emergent. You know, we talked about this in the fall. The fall application goes on in August and September. The spring application goes on in February and early March. Now, it's been really warm this year, so we're recommending that you go ahead and get it on now because the warmer weather may stimulate the germination of weeds a little bit earlier than normal. So there are different kinds of pre-emergent, some that work better on broadleaf weeds, some that work better on wild grasses. So depending on what kind of problems you've had in your lawn in the past, that will determine the type of pre-emergent that you want to apply. Get it on now, get it watered in. Now, on the other hand, if you didn't do your pre-emergent back in the fall, like we recommended, then you've probably got some stuff coming up right now, broadleaf weeds and so on. We do have products that will control those things. We have liquid sprays that you can use to prevent or to eliminate those problems in the lawn right now. Stay away from the weed and feed products because the weed and feed products can be harmful to your trees and shrubs. Pre-emergents are safe. Weed and feed products are not.
Okay, well, if you didn't take our advice last time, take it this time and come see us at Smith's Garden Town. Well, Smith's Garden Town sure has a lot of trees to choose from, and we want to encourage everybody to come out here and choose the tree they want, but you do have some specifications.
Right, we have a recommended list, or list of recommended trees that we recommend for planting in this part of the country. You know, a lot of times people use rate of growth as their only criteria for what kind of tree to plant, and that is a big mistake because typically the fastest growing trees are also those that have inherent problems. Weak branching structures, so you get a lot of problems with breakage in the wind and in ice storms that we might have, shallow root systems, short-lived. So we have about 8 trees that we recommend in the oak family, the Chinese pistache, and some others that really are the most trouble-free trees for this part of the country.
And what trees do you not recommend that they plant?
Well, we typically don't recommend the really fast-growing trees like the silverleaf maple, fruitless mulberry, sycamores, the ash trees. A lot of those do have the problems that I alluded to earlier.
They can be pretty, but they're just not stable.
Right, and they're not very long-lived. You know, in certain situations, like maybe if you've got an area out in the pasture where you just need some quick shade for the cows or something like that, then maybe one of those trees would work all right for you. But in a residential lawn setting, those are probably not the trees that you want to use.
There's a lot of trees to choose from, and you want to choose the right tree, and you will when you come to Smith's Garden Town. Well, as we discussed earlier, there's a time and a season for everything when it comes to pre-emergent, when it comes to planting trees, but also when it comes to perennials. And Catherine Smith, first of all, what is a perennial?
Well, a perennial is a plant that comes back year after year. It may die back to the ground and not be showing anything during the wintertime, but it'll come back from the root the next year. So you only have to plant it once.
Oh.
But the nice thing about perennials is people are always telling me, well, I'll be out to see you when it gets to be spring. You do not have to wait until warm weather to plant your perennials. If the mood strikes you in February and it's a nice day and you feel like digging the dirt, perennials can be planted anytime because they are winter hardy. And a cold weather is not going to hurt them. So these are all include things like many of the salvias, the hostas, some of the hardy ferns, coreopsis. There's just a huge long list that we can give you showing what perennials can be planted here, which ones will grow in the shade, which ones grow in the sun. And we have a really great selection of them. And like I said, you don't have to wait. You go right ahead and plant them right now.
Well, let me ask you, if they don't wait, if they plant it early, does it give the root system a better chance to establish?
It does,
okay.
It does. Spring and fall are great times to plant perennials and get them a little bit established before it gets hot. Of course, many of them, they're winter hardy, but they're also really hardy in the summertime here too. So we've got a great selection of perennials.
Come see us at Smith's Garden Town for your perennials. Smith's Garden Town has things you can grow and things you can show. And with the new season comes new home decor items I know they're going to want to show off, Catherine.
That's right. We've been to market. We've got all kinds of wonderful new things coming in, things that you're just not going to find anywhere else. You might find some things like what you would see on Fixer Upper Show. We've got some of the same sources that they use for their home decorating. We've got things for indoors, things for outdoors, and the beautiful pots. We've got lots of the Talavera and Michoacana pottery, as well as pottery in all kinds of colors for your spring flowers.
And remember, for those of you looking for pictures of dogs with headphones, we have them.
That's right. It's Smith's Garden Town on Seymour Highway between Fairway and Barnett Road.